The Go Higher podcast is presented by the High Program of Wayne State University. The High Program, helping individuals go higher. Hello everyone and welcome to the Go Higher podcast, where we tackle tough and relevant subjects in everyone's day-to-day lives and provide insight on how to respond, resolve, and re-inspire yourself and those around you. Have you ever studied hard but gotten test anxiety, causing you to forget everything you studied when it mattered the most? Or have you felt as if you studied the wrong materials because everything on the test looks foreign to you? We've all been there. Multiple factors contribute to your performance on a test. The way you prepare plays a major part, but outside factors have their effects too. Maybe you had a rough morning. Maybe you didn't get enough sleep the night before. Maybe there was a recent tragedy in your life and that put your mind in a negative state. It is understood that life will throw things at you, regardless of your daily obligations. You should prepare yourself for your exams to the best of your ability so you will know the material no matter what life throws at you. As they say, proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Protecting you and those around you are just as important as your education. Life happens, and we want to help you in every way possible to prepare for it. Here is your GHPP Go Higher Program Podcast Safety Tip of the Day. Try to travel light around campus. Carry all your belongings in one bag. Numerous backpacks, purses, cases, umbrellas, and boxes weigh you down. If you need to run or defend yourself, you will not be able to react quickly. This safety tip came from Wayne State Police Department.
Here are 6 tips to improve your test scores. Number 1, meet with your professor. Everyone knows that your professors are available at some point or another to meet with students for office hours. The reality is that very few students take advantage of the opportunity to do so. If you are struggling in any area of your class, the best person to receive help from is your professor, since they are grading your work. They will align their thinking process with your learning so that the two of you will be on one accord. You will understand things the way they want you to, so that you can get good grades based on their teachings. The professor is teaching you the way they know how to. If you're learning something different than what they're teaching you, you may not get the best results. Number 2, avoid multitasking. This one may seem a bit counterintuitive, but it is very important. Many people think they are capable of multitasking. In reality, it acts as a distraction when it comes to studying. While you are studying, you want to be completely focused on the content that you're working on. If you attempt to do other things while you're studying, it'll take away that focus. This causes a weaker grasp on the information being learned, poor retention of the material students have studied, higher levels of stress and frustration, and brain dead from tackling too many tasks at once. Take one thing at a time and it will improve your learning and save you some time. Number 3, avoid procrastination. A major habit that college students struggle with is procrastination. There are several reasons a student may procrastinate. They've convinced themselves that the work is beyond their abilities. They've decided the topic is boring. They're waiting for the perfect time to start. Or maybe the task has become so overwhelming that they don't know where to start. Procrastinating makes things a lot harder than they need to be. When you wait until the last minutes to prepare for a test, you put more pressure on yourself. At this rate, you only have time to remember the material rather than learning it. When you memorize something, there is a chance that you will not completely understand it if it doesn't look identical to you the way that you remember it. So when you do learn something, you will want to know how to do it in any form, because that way you can fully understand it. It would be easiest to learn the material as much as possible as you progress through the semester to avoid cramming the night before. This way, you will have organized notes for each section, preventing you from searching through weeks of content to find the information. Number 4, utilize ebooks resources. If you have an online book for a class, most of them include resources other than the pages of the textbook. Taking advantage of those resources may help you understand the materials better. Tools such as tutorial videos, practice tests, ungraded assignments, and others are provided to give students a variety of ways to understand the course material. If you have access to those materials, make it a priority to try them out and see if they're helpful. Number 5, avoid distractions. Social media, location, hunger, sleepiness, that kind of thing. Sometimes we tend to get bored when we study. This causes us to pay more attention to distractions. Every once in a while, we may glance at our phone and browse through social media, and that social media strays us away from the work, and that ultimately prolongs the amount of time it takes us to get through our studies. You can set your phone on Do Not Disturb or airplane mode, temporarily delete your social media apps, or turn your phone off. You can even use apps that temporarily block social media while you're studying to avoid the temptation. Your location can also be a distraction. If you're easily distracted, it's probably not a great idea to study in a social environment, such as the student center. You'll be more tempted to interact with people, rather than paying attention to your work. Good places to study may be private study rooms in the library, quiet restaurants, coffee shops, or any other academic environment that separates you from others. Your body can be a distraction to you too. When you're tired or hungry, your brain may start to focus on that instead of your work. It may be smart to pack some snacks or eat something before you start to study. Sleep is also extremely important. If you plan to study for a long period of time, you should try and get a good amount of sleep the night before. As college students, we know that this might not always be possible. And if you need to, you can have a coffee or an energy drink so that your lack of sleep won't be an issue. Energy drinks are not advised to be taken often, but they can be helpful if you use them in moderation. Number 6, set small attainable goals for each session, or self-motivation. It's helpful to set small attainable goals for yourself as you study. Do this by breaking your studies down into sections so that you're not placing all the pressure of the work on yourself. You can reward yourself every time you complete a substantial amount. You should reward yourself with some form of relaxation. Whether it's 5 minutes of playing a game on your phone, a short walk, or listening to music, giving yourself a small enjoyable break will give you motivation to tackle the next section. Doing this can help you refrain from the feeling of being overwhelmed with too much information. You'll be influenced to keep going rather than convince yourself to quit. Today's message has had a huge emphasis on decision making. It's your decision to be proactive. In doing so, you are taking control of the situation to benefit yourself in the long run. Being proactive in your studies gives you the opportunity to get ahead and stay ahead of the game. The more you do to prepare, the less you'll have to do later. You also decide on the mindset that you'll have as you study. You set the tone for your success. If you have the mindset that you will not do well, then you won't. If you say that you don't feel like it, don't want to do it, or don't know how to, then those ideas will stick. You have to convince yourself that you want to successfully achieve those goals until you actually believe it. Thank you all for listening.
College can be difficult, but for some students, financial issues can make things impossible. The HIGH program at Wayne State University provides critical funds to students who are having major issues with basic needs like tuition, books, housing, and food. It's amazing, but just a few $100s at the right time can save a student from dropping out of school or being homeless. Students should not have to decide between basic life necessities and finishing their education. The HIGH program has connected hundreds of students with their basic needs and provided a light at the end of the tunnel for what amounts to the most difficult period of their young lives. If you would like to help, donations of any amount are welcome, and you can find all of our information at highprogram.wayne.edu.